All right, GM everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time it is you're watching us. I want to appreciate you for joining. It's a great day. I want to believe, and I think it's what it is, including, you know, whatever you might be going through. I want to believe it's still a great day at your own hand, right? Uh, so I want to say thank you everyone for joining and taking time to be a part of. Oh yes, if you're wondering, do I have a new look? I think I went to cut my hair. And of course, I hope to bring the hairs back soon, hopefully, under God. So yes, I did add an haircut, and yeah, I think that was also quite necessary. Okay, so we currently have the Bitcoin market, as you guys could see. It's on 70,800, and this is where the market is at right now. I mean, you remember this particular chart. Now, I wish I could be telling you the story, but I'm going to be showing you that exact chart. Just a moment. I think this is it. Okay, yes, I think this is it. So you have this. I was saying this to guys that, you know what, there's likelihood for us to see a distribution like this downward, following what the market literally portrayed right here. And I think you could refer back to our previous video, the before and the after. So you get to see, I mean, the previous video, so you could look at the after that I am showing you now, and you'll be able to understand what it is that I am, trying to, portray, and of course, show you guys in the course of this live session. My intention for this live stream is for us to make a great deal of progress in the subject of our discourse. I mean, it's important, and that we answer people's question. We talk as much as we can, we share as much as we can on several subjects, and we make intensive progress across several matters. I think that's the primary reason of why we're here. I'm going to be dropping the link to I'm going to be dropping the link to this live session to people in our in our Telegram group and across board, and I'm going to be telling people to ensure they are a part of what we are doing, right? Okay. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much all there is. I would really love for us to say. Let's probably say to people we are live. Kindly tune in. Best 10 persons get a reward each. All right, let's do that. First 10 person to tune in and comment, get a reward each. Let's go. So let's get people to probably join in and all of that. So I mean, I think this is why we need to double down, right, in our understanding of what the market is doing right now. I think it's very much important. If you would ask me, when where do I think this market is going? Hey, can we all see this? Oh, sorry, we all can't. Let me ensure we can see the charts. Okay. Now, I literally ensured we shared with us on what I think the Bitcoin market is, probably doing. From our live videos the last time, I remember showing us that I think way more. I mean, I think more certainly that Bitcoin market is primed for a sale, and it's already long overdue. Now, I wasn't saying this from the level of I knew what the market was going to do. I am the one. I'm the one in the custody of the market's direction, right? That was not the mentality I had when it comes to looking at the market and saying what I expected of the market, right? I only think it's about time we just faced the reality of the chart, right? What's the chart still saying, and what is the sign on the wall? What are we reading from all the market charts is saying, and how does the oil market analysis looks like? What can we say about this? Apparently, I was on TikTok a few moments ago, and I was looking at the asset called Rave. This asset literally went over 1,600% in less than 8 days. And of course, we need to know and tell ourselves that the crypto market has really evolved from what it used to be to something way more bigger. I don't know if I'm going to call it an hydra. We are dealing with a market that has different expressions, and it's about time we started, learning so much about the market, of course, from objective observation, and facing the reality of what it is that the market is also trying to communicate. I think that's important, right? So I'm going to put up XTI, which is our ticker symbol for US oil on L Bank. By the way, if you're wondering where you are at, this is Nova Trading Desk, and I'm the instructor here, and we do market analysis on different assets from commodities, indices, stocks, cryptocurrencies, including forex pairs. I mean, I think this is one of the important things. I'm going to probably check out for Euro USD today. I think I'm probably going to do something about that, because I wouldn't want to limit also the asset that maybe the ones I have a nag on. Yes, I think we need to look at other several markets and also several assets. By the way, we have several market news today. I'm going to run us down on this. If you could just exercise a bit of patience, I'm going to check with us and show us exactly what I think we needed to know about the market news for today. I think it's important, and I know that's very much necessary. We don't need to rush. I think we don't need to do any thing of that nature. We just need to take it in bits and of course calm down. So what we have part of the market news today, the 13th of April 2026 rather, is interesting that the all news we have is just tomorrow. So the major news we have in is just going to be like tomorrow, which is the core PPI month over month news, right? We don't have any employment claims on Thursday. And by the way, I'm going to be running us down through something because there are certain updates I think we needed to know. And this is the 13th. This is the third time we're doing this stream around the ongoing ceasefire discourse between the US and Iran. And it's interesting because we literally have reviewed the 10-point agenda that was the subject of discourse between Vance, JD Vance, the vice president of the United States of America, and the Iranian government, right, which they had in Islamabad. I think it's important for us to just, of course, know how things have since evolved. Apparently we all could tell, if we are very much conversant with the market news, that the all discussions that they had and the whole agreement and what have you, it didn't go down well, right? Apparently it didn't go down well. They just didn't honestly come to a point of conclusion on what exactly it was they really wanted. It's interesting, and I think that's quite concerning. Why? Of course, it's concerning, and also it's very much it's also quite coincidental. Why? Concerning because there's likely going to be the continuation of some agitations or some attack or defense. Either ways, there could be way more than we are aware of. To the place of the coincidence is how that if you check the oil market chart, which I think I'm going to be showing you right now, you get to see how that we forecasted that it was going to probably buy up from here, because this is Elliott wave. All that that oil has done with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we already forecasted the likelihood for it to bounce off from wave A to wave B, which still, honestly speaking, shows that there is a likelihood for us to see the oil market moving from this very low point all the way to this point. And of course it has begun moving, and what we're expecting of it to do is, even though it has gone up almost 13 or almost 12% from wherever it is at, we are still expecting a likely push up until it gets to $112 per barrel for the US oil, right? I mean, that still implies we still have a potential of 16% uptick. And of course, if we would be going by the rule of inversion, and listen carefully, well, I'm saying that I imply if oil goes by this percent, how many percent will Bitcoin go? So of course, you could tell that oil moved from 87 point, let's say $7 per barrel, to where it currently is at like $97 per barrel, adding extra $10 in less than 24 hours. So it did 12% move. And how many percent has Bitcoin since then done? So we could always use that as a potential constant to infer or to draw conclusion on the exact what's the word, the exact price or the exact move of the Bitcoin chart. So this is the Bitcoin market. So you have, we estimated this from that low point. Yes, so we're going to be estimating this from this point. So Bitcoin literally has just been down 2.5% if we use the current market price, 2.5% from the point of its sell-off, right? Essentially, okay, maybe I should just use this point then. Okay, so that's about 3.4%. So oil goes goes up by it goes up by about 12%, and Bitcoin goes down by how many percent? By 3.4%. So you have 12.04, right? Okay, divided by 3 point what? 0.4, you have about a 3.5 constant factor. So that implies if oil was going to eventually still rise from where it is, about say 15% or 16, so the oil market is really dropping and Bitcoin is also really rising. Interesting, something is really there. So if the oil price is going to probably still rise more, you could see if it's going to probably rise from where it is, say it's going to rise about some 17% from where it is, or 16%. Let's just use one. So that implies we could divide that 16 by the constant of 3.4 or 3.5. So let's say it rises by 16%, we divide it by 3.5. That means we still would probably still see Bitcoin dropping down some 4.5%, which is still a huge possibility. So if it drops 4.5%, that implies Bitcoin going to 68k or 67,500. It's still in a possibility. Now that's something I think we need to pay attention to, and of course not be quick to ignore, right? I mean, I think that's very important. So you could see how that the market is beginning to make a very quick comeback. Ethereum has crossed $2,200 again, and of course the key levels here is still currently being held strongly. I think Ethereum will drop to 2079 very much soon. I don't know when. And of course that's also about 6%, and at that point I'm probably going to be thinking of leaving out the old market, but then I'm just thinking really, especially on the future side, and leaving the other part to still work. But then I think it's quite clear, since we've been able to understand the constant and the place of that constant in drawing an inference of the likely point or the likely place where we would be seeing the oil, the Bitcoin market, and of course the oil market trading at, right? I mean, I believe that really makes a lot of sense, right? Oh yes, so and that is where we currently are right now, and I think it's necessary for us to draw that correlation. So we'll be looking at the news, what really are the details of the ongoing resistance movement against the Iranian government, this and that. We're going to look at that, right? I think that's important. But again, much more importantly is the fact that we would have to ask for the correlation of all of this in several financial assets. What would this do to the the Euro USD market? What would this mean to several other markets? Think of it. Just think of it. What would this mean, right? So I mean, I would love for us to be engaging this live session. It's going to really help us. I'll be very much encouraged, and of course we'll have a very much interactive room where no one is bored in any way, in any sense. And of course that's going to be a very huge one, if I may, right? I mean, that's pretty much why I'm also here, right? So please, if you're watching, do not exercise to let me know what y'all think about this whole thing right now. I think that's very much great. Okay, so yeah, so currently you could see oil is sort of picking back up. Bitcoin looks like it's also picking back up. We have so much really going on in the market right now. It's the New York session, but then of course I would definitely want to go look at what happened within the session. So I think we had this chart we were using. I'm probably going to be using that chart for the sake of, okay, yeah, this is it. We're going to continue with this chart. So would you mind me hiding this, and let's see what we have within the sessions. So I definitely began to find trading the session way more interesting. So New York as usual. So we have London, right? It was a range. Tokyo was a range. So from about let's see, today's the 13th, from about 1 a.m. or 12 p.m. today, 13th of April, up until now, there was a range all through the Asia session, which is the Tokyo and the Sydney session, up until London session was about 8 o'clock this morning, so London began to pick up, and then it's been like this. And of course, what the tail end of London and of course New York, right, is currently doing is that they're taking both this Tokyo and Sydney eye. They are. And I think I'm beginning to think they might come to tap into 72K for the last time. I'm thinking. I could be wrong, but then I'm thinking so. But then taking out the Sydney and Tokyo eye is more of a bearish sign. That's the truth. It's more of a bearish sign than a bullish sign. So what we literally must admit is essentially this is Tokyo eye. I'm gonna probably show you guys one more time. This is a Tokyo. This is London. It has Sydney or Tokyo, whichever one. So it is taking both the eye of Tokyo session, Sydney session, and of course New York session for the previous day. So you could actually admit by just drawing this, which I'm going to probably draw, that this is TKOI. So TKO, that's the eye. So, right, so it has taken it right now. It has taken it, right? So, of course, no one can. The only thing I could do, which of course I must admit, I remember telling guys, because I was looking at the video we made, and I'm like, you know what, I want to beg you, as much as you can, stay in this short, because it's gonna probably dump way more to like 6 or 7, 800. That's way more likely. The natural thing to expect by my own thought process after a drop down like this is a retracement, which is probably going to bring us to somewhere like this. I wouldn't be thinking of taking a sell if I were such a person waiting for this trade until the market comes back to 7,800. Of course, my mind could definitely think of, why don't you look at the 50% golden pocket retracement of this old huge god candle that sort of, which will mean I'm going to probably be thinking of also considering a likely sell off at 72,400, and of course a possibility of the market also coming to my expected perfect point of entry, which conveniently sits at about 72,770. Now, of course, all of those are possibilities. No one is saying it's not a likely thing to happen. But again, we need to ask ourselves questions. I mean, that's when we get answers. So this is a Tokyo eye has been taken. What do we expect in the market? This is more like a mini range without manipulation. Then definitely we could have distribution. Maybe if that's how we're going to picture it. For example, if you let's check the 50 minutes time frame. Yes, I've drawn that this is a Tokyo, eye. The market just confidently took it out. But then, if I also look at it from the sense of accumulation, manipulation, that AMD, thing, you would still see that the market is still respecting those bases of viewing the market. I'm going to probably show you that in a minute. And the truth is, those who really make money off this market don't care how you think. And why do you then want to lose your opportunity at the market because of what you think? I'm not saying we wouldn't be thinking, but I'm saying at some point you've got to be ruthless with your thoughts. And our thoughts, and by that I'm saying be much harder on yourself and don't overchoose convenience at all time. Anyways, this is me going to mirror the accumulation phase of this breakout. So let's assume that the accumulation of the range, let's assume, and then this is the manipulation of the range. I don't know how well it's going to probably manipulate. I want to believe that's it, but again, if it is, then we can't be so sure that the distribution of the range is going to be it could be long. It go long, that's what we say in Africa when we put things in pigeon perspective. So there you have it. If this was the accumulation, then that's going to be like the perfect mirror. So essentially what we did is me showing us how that Tokyo eye got taken. If this is going to probably be someone's ultimate strategy, who knows? I'm probably going to take a screenshot of this and of course refer back to this and write a bit of thesis on this if you wouldn't mind. So let me just write something. So one, observation, just observe with me. That's what some persons will say, observe. So we noticed that there was a range, there was a weekend range. So the range, which essentially equals to the accumulation, if I may. All right, then you have two, the New York / London, London taking Tokyo. Which also equals the manipulation. I mean, we cannot be here, right? Under God. And the likely thing, if this plays out, then that implies that then 3, we could, of course, this is a possibility, not a certainty. We could see a sell-off, which of course equals another word of we saying a distribution. If this happens, then I think I'm going to capitalize on this more. I promise you. We could see a sell-off, which equals a distribution before COB. And trust me, whatever the market does, I'm probably going to be watching in 3D. What do you think? So what we are postulating, I think that's the word when you are putting up a thesis. What we are postulating is the possibility of Bitcoin likely selling off. Of course, it's not a certainty. And of course, why we think this is something that could possibly happen within, let me show you the context of the sell-off. Within here, so anyone else can just open anyways, guys, if you care to know. So yeah, so what we're thinking could happen within where we've just drawn, right? Let me just probably take a screenshot so you guys could know we literally were saying this. What could possibly happen is what we've just drawn, that the sell-off could actually happen from here. I'm probably going to take a paper short also here. All right, it's not a certainty. Please don't just go jump in with all of your assets and say, hey, he said it and this and that. I know I'm not saying anything. Yeah, by the way, nothing is yet guaranteed. I'm also looking at the oil markets. I'm looking at the, all of those are also part of the metric, all of that, right? Yeah, so okay, so you could see how you went to grab liquidity and it's looking like it's selling already. Boy, oh boy, this is something. I mean, I want us to really pay attention to this. But then my thought process for which I was like, you know what, let's make a check out on this as a possibility for a sell, is because of the possibility of the market going at the close of New York to take out Tokyo low. So we could see a possible sell-off, which is going to be the perfection of the distribution we were making reference to. And yes, definitely that could be for the sake of, I don't know why this is not even selling anyways. But then, that's where we have placed the sell, right? I mean, I literally want us to see that. Okay, so and I think it's important. I think it's necessary that we know that's a possibility. It could sell off from there. And the reason is because if we have accumulation, okay, did we have the trade opened? Okay, I think we did. Or what trade is this? I don't even know what it is about. All right, so I just want to check if that's something that could run. Anyways, this is what we think the market could do. All right, so we think so, and it's because of all these reasons. Now, so there is the range, there is a manipulation, which we think this is. Then we suspect a likely distribution. So it might be that it ends like this. We just can't tell. But again, that's how we're looking at it right now. And of course, the reason why we could now picture this in the likely play out of the market is because of how we have read the charts, right, from the oil market. So we read the chart, of course, and that's why we have to look at assets that are correlated. So yes, Bitcoin is inversely correlated to oil. I think that's something we already have come to the point of concluding on. And by the way, if you love what we're doing, you could always drop your comment. Let's know what you think. Let's vibe around the subject of our discussion. I think this is going to be like one of the greatest things you want to do. And again, there's so much I have in stock for you, like the exchange I'm using to trade. You have an opportunity to get a 20% deposit bonus, and you could trade all of these assets. I'm going to look at Euro USD and also look at what this is about. By the way, we are not confused on oil at all. If you know, you know. On a daily time frame, we'll be able to analyze that oil perfectly paints the Elliott wave. And Elliott wave is a 5-legged wave, and of course we have a corrective wave, and of course we saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I might be explaining this some other time. Maybe I will just take it in bits, one part of our analysis, make you guys understand better. So Elliott wave is simply mirroring the perfect move of the market from its point of rest to the very crest, like from the trough to the crest, from the point of inertia to the very optimal momentum, right? When the market is at the point where no one believes it's going to be buying, up until when it gets to that very point where it's plateau, and then it's it's sell off. It's the whole cycle of the market. So it's divided into the impulsive move and then the corrective move. So the impulsive move is literally, now take note, a 5-legged wave where you have a wave 1, wave 2, like you're seeing on the screen, wave 3, which is the longest wave, which is part of the fundamentals of the Elliott wave principle. It is the longest of all waves. For this to be a valid Elliott wave, wave 3 must be longer, and wave 4 must never be below wave 2, irrespective of how it drops, because wave 3 to wave 4, essentially will be like that wave where people feels this is already overbought and it's about time it started selling off. But again, the market will still push one more last time higher. And so this is wave 4. It just mustn't be below wave 2. Then you have wave 5, which is the final push of the market, making everyone think, oh fine, then we're already, going up again. And then that was just a Judas move, that's deception, and then the market eventually sells. And I think that's important for us to know, that we then have a wave A, which is the beginning of the corrective move, wave A, then wave B, which mirrors the market, seeming as though it's continuing, but that was all for the hype and it was not going to be real. And then there will be the wave C, where the market eventually drops way lower than the leg of wave 4. And either ways, you get to have all of these confluences giving you confirmations of the Elliott wave. And interestingly, at the very peak of wave 3 to the peak of wave 5, you'd see a bearish divergence. That confirms it. I mean, I'm going to pull that up so you also get to see this and know what we just explained about the Elliott wave. And it's important because you would see this more and more either on the higher time frame or the lower time frames when you are looking at Elliott wave. I mean, I believe it makes a lot of sense. And if it does, don't forget to keep following us, and of course subscribing. Join us on our Telegram community at Nova Trading Desk Africa. You're welcome. So, I mean, that's one profound way of showing some things. Let me just add this to us before we call it a wrap. So let me show you something. This is RSI, and you have to pull this up so you could see. I'm not making this up. So you'd see we have, the tops of wave 3 and 5 respectively moving upward, but then on the RSI chart, the tops of wave 3 and 5, it goes downward. This is what we call the bearish divergence. If I take this off, right, so where you have the chart or the candlesticks move going a direction while the RSI chart goes the opposite direction. It's going to be a bearish or a bullish, but then this is what we call a bearish divergence. So you've learned two things in just one video. I mean, that's important. So if you wouldn't mind, I will need to get back my chart, the drawing Elliott wave. So so this is why I was of the opinion that, we are very much likely to see a push on the Elliott wave, because this is wave A, and we possibly will be seeing a wave B and then a wave C. So I believe that makes a lot of sense. Thank you. Don't forget to keep following us, and of course check the comment section. There's definitely an alpha for you to pick. By the way, you could use our link. I'm going to be dropping the link right away to get a 20% bonus on your deposits right here on our exchange at Tailbank. You're welcome. Don't mention. So I mean, that's important for me to state. Boy, oh boy, where are we and how are we doing? I'm gonna be dropping that link. Check out in the live session, please. If you've got questions for me, let me know. I'm going to look into other assets for this analysis of ours. I mean, I think it's important. And from say Thursday or Friday next week, we'll be starting a 10x challenge in a month. We'll be trading a $200 account to meeting a profit margin of 2,000 before the end of the month. I think this is a fair opportunity for all of us to raffle through and join the whole context. And interestingly enough, a quarter or a percentage of the profit is going to be going to the community. All right. I mean, when I'm saying the community, I mean those on Telegram. So you want to be an active member of our Telegram community. You don't want to be watching from the sidelines. And that's why I'm going to be saying this, that you must ensure you're part of us. Don't just, stay and watch. Please join. This is how you win. This is how, anyone wins, right? You just get to really win from that point, right? That's it. So I've dropped the link. You could check that out in the Twitter, in the YouTube group. By the way, we will be launching our live stream on X again. We sort of had a few things to deal with, and for whatever reason that really did happen, that it was a bit down, just a bit, and so I think it's still very much okay. So guys, where is Bitcoin? This is where Bitcoin market is right now, and I think it sounds very much interesting. And this is it. This is it. Let's look at Euro USD. I want to also look at Euro USD, and I wanted to take note of the time. So let's say I'm going to 34 minutes. Okay, great. All right. Yeah, so I think this is where we currently are, right? Boom, 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 boom. Please, if you're watching, drop a comment section. Drop a comment in the comment section, right? So don't just watch from the sidelines. Drop it in the comment section. Drop your questions. Let's get to hear what you say, because I think it's important, highly important. All right. So we have oil. Do you have oil? I have oil. I'll show you my bottle of oil. Do you want to see my bottle of oil? You hear the sound? I feel in the shadow. I'm not going to show you, but I have oil anyways. Just kidding. But then we have oil as an asset we've looked at. I would love for us to look at Euro USD. It's been a while I looked at Euro USD, and I think I want us to look into it. So the several asset or analysis on Euro USD probably is going to make a very great, analysis for some persons to find understanding of what the market is doing. It's been a very long time now. You could think of July 2025. That's the last time I analyzed it, and I'm like, what, this market still looks bullish. So every of the movement is such a thing to have taken advantage of. So you could see that by analysis on the Euro USD market, even up until now, still looks quite bullish. And all of the annotations you have here are very much old. I was going to use the word ancient because I have moved off from this way of looking at the market anyways. But then what do you see right here? If you don't mind, I almost feel like I should delete everything. I think I would. All right. So, from the monthly perspective, we know that, the market itself is currently a victim of the ongoing war. Apparently, for the long time that we are aware, for as long as 2008, the Euro USD has been a bit bearish. I knew I made mention of that. And yes, this was what we had. So there was that, what do you want to call this? There was this, you have something like that. Exactly. And then there was a breakout point. So you have almost like a bearish trend where the market literally, got exhausted. The trend finished somewhere here because this point was the breakout point. And of course, that was the point we felt, okay, fine. It could be the point for which Euro USD is changing or switching. And it's important, very, very important for us to know. And by the way, please, when you're trading Bitcoin and other assets, don't let your mind never anticipate surprises, because by that, I mean you would not be feeling what just happened in the markets. Why? Simply because you already not only have your risks managed, you are not going to feel as a stranger when the market pulls up its shenanigan, because I think this is very much likely of the Bitcoin market. It's very, especially amid this worst thing. We're amid volatility. We are playing with volatility. I literally was making mention of a coin. I didn't show you guys. Look at this coin, Rave. Edward 2. I'm gonna probably be showing you our. Okay, you know what? I think that's gonna make it easier. I would be showing you our charts on L Bank. You'll see coin like Rave. It got to almost $10. It just dumped. I don't know why. I'm gonna probably look at the 15-minute candle. It just dumped from where it was. It just it just began selling off. Just imagine it's been down 10%, right? And I think it could actually still sell off more. Just a thought, because it's very much likely to do. It was overbought, like crazy overbought, and I think it's probably still going to come to under $2. Every funny coin always have those kind of days where they seem untouchable, and they keep moving. And you'd ask yourself, why is this coin sort of pumping till now? You just don't have any explanation to the reason for that. You don't. You're trying to make sense out of it, but it still wouldn't make any sense to you. Don't worry, I got you. I think this is something the market itself likes doing, and you need to know that as one of the unfortunate symptoms of a, hydra made market. I don't know, but I think crypto is more hydra based now. I think so, and you better see it that way, because there's almost no way I'm gonna be saying crypto is normal. It isn't anymore since the Donald J. Trump's administration. And I think you need to wake up to the fact that this is the Trump's effect we've always been talking about. Now, if you've wondered and you're asking, hey, David, what then is a Trump's effect? You are doing a video about this. You don't seem to want to explain to us what this means. This is what it means. This is what it means. This is what the Trump effect essentially means. It literally means the Trump administration's effect on the financial market, either in terms of decision or in terms of implication or in terms of whatever. This is it, and that's the truth. And there's no other way I could say it than what we're saying. Now, I was going to show you Rave, but again, I felt there's no point showing you Rave here. Let me just probably bring you to the chart on LBank. I think that's probably going to be it. But then we have an analysis on Euro USD to do. But then for the sake of those who want to know what this asset is, let me bring you guys. I'm thinking it's about time for this asset to sell, but then I could be wrong. Why? Because assets like this have always proven tough to predict the exact timing for their next major move. And it's best, honestly, to stay out of this kind of asset. I know what I'm talking about. Oh, yes, I do. So let me see if I could show this to our people everywhere. So right, just a moment, I'm trying to get also the window. Sorry, so that's not what I want to show you, but just please stay in there. I'm gonna bring you right to the exact chart. Exactly. So if you're listening to me, I think you should go risk a sell on Rave, even if it's just a 2x or 3x, right? I think so. I think we just might nuke. Well, just think of the daily time frame. Think of it. Just look at how this coin moved. No, nobody expected that. So this is what I was talking about anyways. But then if you could risk on it, it's risky. I'm just going to probably add that to it so nobody says it's you're the one that say we should get on it. No, you need to know you're dealing with a beautiful risky, trade here, right? I have no other way to say this to you, and I think I'm going to probably check some of my account if I have some floating USDs and probably risk on these, because I think it's going to probably worth it. Who knows, right? You just cannot tell what and how the market is probably going to do, and how you're probably going to be taking advantage of the market right now. All right, so this is it. Oh guys, come on, you imagine Rave? It's like the gainer, and I think the same thing goes for Trado. Trado did the same thing. It's like it was on some hard drugs. Can you imagine? The same thing almost happened to Area, RARIA. Yeah, not joking. Rave. Just imagine someone goes in on a 500x 500 USD short, and yeah, you went in on markets, and then you went in on a 10x and then 500 and 10x and then 500 USDT. Just imagine. Just imagine I was gonna short. Just imagine I was gonna short 1,000 rave, and my take profit is gonna be like $3.8. It's a lot of money. 1,000 rave is gonna cost let me see, 1,000 rave. It's gonna cost me about 9,000 USDT. Is that the volume? Okay, that's the notional value. Yeah, and if I'm going on a 10x, that's 1,000 rave divided by, yeah, that's like 9. That's 9,000, and divided by 10. That's gonna cost. I'll need $900, so I can't do 1,000. So let's say I'm gonna probably risk 200 on this. Okay, divided by 9, that's like 200 rave. And shorting this to 3.8 is going to probably give 1,000x. And like, just imagine what the stop loss is going to be like if you would want to put the stop loss at the previous all-time high. This kind of moves off, because you know you definitely want to be risking so much. So look at that. So the stop loss is like almost all your money. At $10, you're literally gone on 10x leverage. But then if you get to short this, so let's say $1, you make a lot of money, like $200. So we could almost have the old 10x, right? Let's see what Trev is going to probably do. But then it's very much risky. I've got to see there are several insider trading to these, but I can't tell. I mean, I saw that on Arkham Intelligence myself, but today's not the day for me to check out all of those stories. If you don't mind, I think we need to get back to the charts and look out for the market. I think that's why we just have to focus on market that have less noise. Even at this time, I've tried as much as possible, and I'm using the word try because I realize that it's very much easy to make attempts, right? I have tried, and that's the word. I've tried as much as possible to avoid trading assets that currently have so much hype around them. Why? Because they tend to be sometimes having many shady things, and they are majorly the reason is because the technicals at that time when the hype is much might not be consistent because of influx of unusual amount of liquidity. And that's my reason, if you're wondering why I don't want to go trade assets that have overbought or oversold, right? And I think this is wisdom for anyone who cares to stay longer in the game of trading cryptocurrency, right? Avoid over discussed, right, assets that are just all over the place, right? Avoid them. Avoid you just suddenly overbought and you feel, oh fine, now it's time for me to cash out. You might just be the one that could be used as exit liquidity. I try as much as possible to avoid them, and that's wisdom for those who know, right? Where you have less noise, there you have a good technical, and I think that's a reason for you for me to say this, so you all can also stay safer along. I'm going to be going on a break. I think it's important. But then I think why we have been able to meet up in this live discussion is to establish a fact. And I think the fact is quite clear in our eyes, and I think we all could see it now. Watching this, don't stay on the window. Please don't stay by the side. Don't stay on the sidelines. Drop your comments, your questions, your concerns, and everything you might have about whatever it is that we're doing and this whole thing. But then this is Euro US. Let me finish up with this before I go for the break. It's apparently broken out right here, so that's a breakout. I would use a text tool which is called callout. I think it's called callout. So you have that. So what do you have? This, I'm gonna write breakout, right? So you have a breakout, and now that you have a breakout, what should we expect? Well, it's been nicely retested and preparing for a huge push. We just don't know what's really going to probably be happening right now. But then we know there is so much in the pipeline we needed to pay attention to. So this is important. On a monthly time frame, last month's candle was bearish. This month's candle is apparently bullish. Last month's candle didn't take liquidity below the previous month, because this is where you have market liquidity. You better know this for yourself. Liquidity simply implies the point. All right, sorry. It simply implies the point where the market could likely sell or buy into. That's market liquidity. All right, so let me just pick this out. So you have liquidity resting here on the Euro USD monthly candle, which means the market could definitely draw drop down to that level, or have it as its reference point of some sort. So you have that liquidity here, right? And you also have it right above, which are both sell side liquidities and buy side liquidity respectively. This lower one meaning the sell side, the side where the sellers wants the market or the liquidity of the market to sell into, right? And this is where we are, right? So much you get to see on the monthly time frame, less noise. You get to know the market direction. What's the likelihood of the market coming down? Where are the possibilities of where the market could get down into? I'm just going to probably take my breakout like this and also draw out the demand spot. So you have this fair value gap. It's not much, it's quite in there within this the body of this candle, and that of course we change the color for the sake of those who care to understand. That meaning that color means buying, right? Market could sell off here to buy. It all depends, right? But either ways, there's an exhaustion which we saw here, there's another exhaustion which we are seeing here, and of course just wanting us to see how all of this is about. And the market didn't take liquidity above here before selling, but yes, it took liquidity above here, then it sold, and then it led to a break of market structure. So you could see this point where the market went below as a BS. I'm going to call it a BS break of structure. So you have that as a BS, and then the market similarly is acting as though it's pushing higher, right? After breaking the structure, it's reacting like, will it be the market is coming to grab liquidity here to sell back down? Is this a break of structure? We would love to ignore. The weekly chart has so much to still say we need to look into, and what you have right here is interesting, simple, and apt. So you get to see how the market took the buy side liquidities right here. It went ahead and it took the buy side liquidity, which I'm going to call it BSL, right there, and it's not just something we would ignore, right? Because after taking buy side liquidity, it broke structure, right, and then it's retesting this region, right? They have the certainty for a sell is when it hits either at this level. That's especially for Bitcoin. For me, this is why that is why I have my gun box drawn this way. But then there's a fair value gap here. All of these point a critical point of like I said of the market will come back right here. It all depends, and that's if I'm looking at it from the bullish sense. But then that's it. I believe we all see that. We need to know, of course, a push above here will mean that the market's outrightly bullish. A push above here will mean the market's actually bullish, and we might want to be waiting for the retracement to sell. I mean, to buy rather. And of course, we do know. Oh my God, we do know that from here the market could just sell off entirely in continuation of its bearish campaign. So what's EUR/USD going to be doing here? How is it that the weekly candle is opening this way? Maybe because of FXCM's chart. I can't tell, but then the daily time frame has way more to still say, because I don't trade on the weekly time frame, especially since I'm not having millions of dollars that I want to float around. But then since we daily traders, we look at what the market is saying in the interim, right? Since we've been able to understand what it's trying to still communicate, we are seeing exhaustion right here. It's looking like it's flipping downward. It looks like this point could hold water as a likely supply zone. Who knows? We are just very much still speculating on that. But then I don't know, I think I would love to look for another chart that perfectly mirrors this. Please, if you're watching, let me know what you think. Don't just be on the sidelines. Let's all hear what we have to say together, and let's all discuss the market analysis all together. I think it's important, if you don't mind. I think it is very necessary, very necessary. Just a moment, it's coming up. So we have talks on the possibility of Bitcoin moonshotting. Bitcoin could actually moonshot. I'm thinking of that also. I saw this from Jeb. Jeb is a person I've been listening to. You could see the market right now is pushing ahead. Yeah, so I wanted to look at EUR/USD on another chart. So maybe I should just use this anyways. Okay, so you could see that yes, there was a rejection, but the market is quickly recovering. Okay, no, this is a daily time frame. Also, a daily time frame. Yeah, yeah. Okay, it's having similar charts. I mean, what is this? I don't know what this is. What this is about? I don't know. Really, I don't. So, let me check another chart. Because the way the candle looks, it's also very important. Let me look at future markets. I think, okay, I think it's clear. This is how the market chose to open. But then it looks like there's like a, because if you look at the line graph, what you get to see might not be candlestick, but it looks like the market is trying to sell. Maybe not perfectly, but then that's what we could read from this chart. So yeah, I don't have the perfect candle close or open. I don't know why the market chose to open this way, but then the forward chart might just be of help for us. Let's come there. So yeah, I think that's clear. So we have a gap that's sold downwards, and then the market's opening upward like this. This is where the market is dealing with. It's dealing with this gap, and apparently you'd agree with me that yeah, this is the market. This is where the market gets interesting. I wouldn't say funny. And what you're seeing right there is the way the the Euro US market is really pushing higher, right? Definitely it hasn't broken structure. What it has essentially done is that it has moved from a, it's been having this lower lows, higher lows, which which shows a stepwise movement of the market to an higher end, right? So I think this is something I would love for you to see, right? So you could see how it grabbed liquidity there, and then it dropped, and then it's looking like it's pushing ahead. I think what looks way more likely right now is this. So the market's probably going to take liquidity above here, right? Rise to 1.7, 1.18, drop into this fair value gap. This demand zone, likely, take note of my word, likely. And then it buys all the way. This is what I think on Euro USD. I'm going to probably wait for a buy. At about this place. So why? Look at this forward chart. What do you see the market doing? It's reacting to this sell-off zone, right? But what makes it comes above here and above this point means market has taken liquidity resting above here. Because like it or not, your market liquidity is resting here. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so sorry. So, I don't know what y'all are thinking, but then this is where we are right now. Guys, Bitcoin is buying. We've got to watch with great caution. Anyways, we don't need to, but then that's what I'm just thinking. So, look right here. You have right a grab on sell side. Yeah, and then this is where you have the shift in structure or the break of structure. You want to call it anyone. I was going to call it a BS. So I think, wow, okay, yeah, that's it. So yeah, since this is quite valid that this was a low and this is the protected low, the external range low, you better know this yourself right now. So I'm probably gonna just consider taking a buy only when that point is broken. Once this point is broken, I have the confirmation. It's going to probably come here. If I write here, I'm good enough. Not necessarily breaking above it, but if it goes above here, that's the final confirmation. So yeah, I think I'll be so good to take my buy from here. I don't even know what it want to do, but then I'm going to consider taking a buy long from that point. Yeah, something like this, right? Yeah, I think so. I think this is what we want to see happen on Euro USD. Keep your eyes on Bitcoin. Don't take your eye off it. We have so much to really understand from the market today, and I think it's interesting that we need to, highlight the facts and the truth about the market right now. I'm gonna be right back. Enjoy the break. I'm gonna be right back. Thank you. All right, I think Bitcoin is really pushing. What do you guys think? There's almost nothing we could do about it. If it's decided to go up, what can we do? I mean, I think it's important for us to face reality when it comes to trading the market. Anyway, the things the market do in the short term are not the facts about what it does in the long term. So yes, that was meant to be a supposed supply zone. I knew this was a break of structure. I knew this could be like the market coming back at 70-400 to sell off, but of course, which would be best for me to replace my short position right at that top. Of course, when the market is going to, yeah, that kind of thing. So while we're here and we're trying to figure out what's really the driving force for this push, right? Right. I mean, if you've got any question, please just sort of drop them in the comment section. Don't just watch from the sidelines. Let's all discuss the markets together. By the way, I just realized we have 3 live sessions going concurrently. How is that possible? I don't know. So if there are like 2 live sessions, I'm going to see how I could end one of these. Definitely going to see how I could end it. I don't know how. Yes, because my intention today is to ensure we are very much up to date with what we think we could see the market saying. So let me bring you guys to some real talk on the market. Let's see what we have with Bitcoin analysis or anything in between. But I think we've made the most if we got to check for the Bitcoin market news and any detail on the market. So Bitcoin price, and guys, I'm thinking this market might not. Oh boy, 72k literally happened right now. All right, so now. You know what I'm thinking? This manipulation is too huge for this to be mere manipulation. I think we had better stop out the position and get out of our positions right now. I'm not joking. 72k literally is happening with full force, and I can't explain why oil is also holding up. Guys, I don't know what's really going up right here, but something is huge. Guys, are we forfeiting all the profit we really got in the market back to the market? Just a question. Really, it is a question. Is this the price of oil? It's also still pushing up. What do you guys even think about this market? Sorry. What do you guys think about this market? I mean, sometimes you just tend to, I don't want to use the word lose guard. Like, you just ask yourself, so what's this market really up to after all said and done? Is it really still going to sell? I'm asking. Yeah, it's needful. So anyways, this is where the market is now. Bitcoin, has crossed 72k. Actually, it has crossed $100. Like, it crossed it, and for whatever reason, hey, oil is also pushing. Never seen something like this before in a long time. Oil, are you seeing the price? Let me show. This is a 1 hour price of oil. Oil is pushing up just as Bitcoin is pushing up. I don't know what's happening to Ethereum also, but then this other asset also called Euro USD is also pushing higher. I mean, we could see that. One thing I think everyone would agree with me on is the market always comes, make everyone comes to that point of admitting that one is wanting wants to admit that you are wrong. See oil pushing. You see, what's it called? Ethereum pushing. The same thing happens to Bitcoin, also pushing. So you're seeing this push almost everywhere. When the market got here, it's been pushing. Now, don't forget this market was on 7,500 this morning. Oh. Just to let you know. So the Bitcoin market literally got to 72k right in the middle of this live stream. And you're thinking we see selling. Are you sure? I wish I could do a wager right now in chat and ask if you're for the bull. Drop, thanks for saying I. Yeah, if you're for the bull, I would say drop your comment. If you're for the bear, drop your comment. All of that, all of this. Right. But then we just have to face the market for what it is right now. I think that's the best way we could look at it, honestly speaking. Yeah, so I would perhaps want us to check the top gainers on L Bank today, and then we will read the market news. Maybe it's about time for us to check what's up on coin market cap. I think if you wouldn't mind me, checking and also showing you. And by the way, tomorrow, it's been a while. We had Omni. Yes. It's been a while. We're gonna have Omni Wednesday again this week. I promise. And by the way, our analysis on several of the Nigerian stocks is not over. We're gonna revisit them. That kind of thing. But then in the short time, would you mind coming with me to our L Bank's homepage? Let me show you the top gainers for today. All right, let me show you the top gainers for today. By the way, oil is still pushing. I mean, I would just love to state that. Yes. I would also try and see how I can. Okay, should we go live on TikTok? Let me see. If I could, let me just check, because I would love to also have that concurrently. It's gonna be so good. But we could go live on TikTok, and we're looking at the market, we're talking about it. So once this runs, I just hope this is not going to probably take so much impact on my PC anyways. Okay. That's what it means. Once it comes up, we're gonna be good. So let me bring you guys to this is our homepage. So all right, please don't leave me here. If you're watching, drop your comment. Let's all discuss the market together. I think it's very great if we can all discuss the market together. Just a moment, it's coming on. I want to actually check for the top gainers, and we'll look at all those assets together. I think it's important. There are just so many features. I know we've discussed Omni, one of the great features. On L Bank, I know we did. So let's look at the market. That's where we have to go. Yes, and from market, we could find gainers. Exactly. So this is it. You have Bull, 111%. You have this Chinese named coin. You have Bless. You have Neat. You have Giggle. Then you have Rave. These are the hot ones. Rave, Neat, and this one. So we already checked on Rave. By the way, is this still the price of Rave? Let's check Neat. What's this about? And of course, X and Y. I feel we should check X and Y. And Neat. Let's go with X and Y. Let's go with Neat, then we'll come check X and Y. I'm going to probably open CoinMarketCap so we could also check some statistical data from that point. I think it's also important and quite necessary, very necessary. And other data points which I think are of great necessity. I'll bring us to that place so we could all check together. All right, let me just confirm that our voice is coming out well enough on our YouTube platform. Let me get that right. All right, I think it's coming out well. Maybe there is just so much that's currently making it lag. I would not be able to have TikTok concurrently. It's something that could take a toll on my PC. I'm going to shut it down. So maybe after the session, we'll definitely probably have, exactly. We're going to probably have this. Yeah. So let's see, let's watch, let's be optimistic, let's be hopeful. I guess we are about to hit a critical milestone. Who knows? By the way, Bitcoin is on 71,930. Oil is on 96,440. Oil and Bitcoin, for whatever reason, the past 5 minutes sort of went the same direction. That's something I wouldn't want you guys to ignore. All right. So what you're seeing right now is a pricing of need, the charts, and everything in between. I'm not going to go into so much stories, but then let me show you a bit of the overview of this token. So what you have, it needs stand for not in employment, education, or training. This is a very ridiculous meme coin. I believe it's a meme coin describing young people who are neither working, studying, nor receiving vocational training. And how is this a token to invest in? For whatever reason, it has $41 million market cap. Interestingly enough, its circulating supply is approximately a billion, just as equals as its total supply, and its maximum supply is infinity. I'm going to check out their X account and of course understand what this is about. I think it's definitely for clout chasing, nothing more to expect from this kind of asset. So you see that 1 hour change is -1%. This is definitely getting some real market pricing. You buy now, you get over to whatever play, not in employment, education, or training, neat. And it sounds good. By the way, they could have so much following on TikTok. And I'm telling you, because investment now has turned very much funny. A lot of persons right now feel, you know what, you could use $50 to make $50,000. That looks great on paper, but in reality, the sustainability of that life and the mindset is going to be building it a poison. So this is a meme coin built around rejecting the 9 to 5 and reclaiming personal freedom in a system designed around work. It represents self-independence, ownership, and choosing your own path outside traditional employment and institutions as automation and AI erode long-term job security. This is neat. Choose neat. Be neat. I mean, it sounds good. I must be honest with you. Do nothing, get paid. Neat. Obviously, that's clean money, right? Then how do you get money to even actually stake or buy needs if you're doing nothing? Think about it and make it make sense. I'm just asking a question, right? I don't mean any harm. If you're an investor in NEEM or in NEET and you're saying NEET, I have a lot I could actually do for you, but then, all right, because this looks neat anyways. I mean, it's a very good joke. I guess it is a very good and a great joke anyways. I believe perfectly. So yeah. It's a good token, right? As they say, not a financial advice from me anyways. So but yeah, you're saying learn the art of doing nothing. Just make it make sense. And getting paid for it. Web3 network of digitally native needs who have opted out of the traditional 9 to 5 and built real skills. Oh, so we built real skills online. And so because of the real skills we built, even if we don't do 9 to 5, we could still do something. So the whole narrative of doing nothing was just a jit. So he says, quit your job and make money on the internet. So by doing nothing, like what I'm doing right now, is it nothing? So I understand the whole marketing gimmick around this whole project. It's a facade. I'm going to be honest with you. Website built by Mark. That's it. Enter the hub. So where is this going to take me to? It's going to probably take me to some Whoop non-employment trade whoop.com. What are we doing there? You join the community, and this is it. So you're saying all the 300 persons who joined are doing nothing. Anyways, let's check the X account. Not in employment, educational trading, neat. So it's on Solana, and it's funny. Neat, not in employment, educational training, and everyone laughed about it. Everyone, what is neat? And this is what ChatGPT says. Okay, so this must definitely have been the conversation of that person in in the chat GPT's room. Put up a very good drama. The humans are very much easy to be deceived. I have no job, living the dream, doing nothing, living the dream. I don't know what hope this is selling, but this is not sustainable. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm out of here. But I think the project really had a very great pump day, and whoever adults who got in on it, kudos to them and good luck to them. The truth is, people have to really prioritize their moral and the truth of, principles for the practicality of racking and raking more profit. I think that's very much important, and that's how society or societies can be built. That was how the one people see as world powers today really got built. All right, so let me get back to the other token and check what we have. By the way, Bitcoin is really going to probably push higher. So 72,300 has happened on Bitcoin. And I told you guys, it's kind of scary. And you know what? I'm thinking of jumping out, right? I didn't expect the market to really move this way today. I didn't. But I'd known I would have probably been out of the trade since morning. Can't imagine the market going this way. And look at that. Oil looking like it's probably going to drop. Hey, this whole market thing is all cooked. I wasn't expecting this market to buy all the way back from where it was. I feel bad that I hadn't left all my positions. I feel so bad. Yeah, because Bitcoin looking like it's going to go to 73k before stopping again. This is not good. For me, who actually had a position that was very much good. I did have a very good position. I don't know what to expect, but then I'm thinking, should I just stay in this trade? I mean, I would need you guys to tell me what to do right now because I'm not thinking I have the boldness to hold on. We now have a new 1 hour candle opening at 4 p.m. West Africa time, which apparently is the time we are in. And it's apparently going to be the candle that will lead us into the 5 p.m. candle open, which is the next 4 hour candle. Guys, this is not so good. I don't believe it's going to turn out good. I don't know why I want to believe that, but then no. The market can't take back what it gave. It better not. But then the way it pushed up, it's something I wouldn't want us to ignore. Could this still sell? That's a question I'm asking myself right now. If it did sell eventually below 2,100, that's going to be like a very huge one. And whatever it is, I'd better know. Like, Bitcoin literally went back to the entry point. Would you believe that? That's what it just did. The exact point I said the market could get to, the market got there on Bitcoin. Can you imagine? So let me probably bring you guys to the home page of the chart again so you could see where the market rose into. That exact point. So just imagine. I don't know if you guys are saying, I don't know if it's going to probably see old waters. That's another concern. Because the market these days is, okay, you guys are not saying this. Let me show you this trading view. The market these days is a whole lot of mess. And the best anybody can just do is to maximize profit. I'm not joking. That's the best anybody can do. Maximize profit, stay safe. I'm just trying to hold up to this and, pretend like I have some boldness in the market because I really don't do. Because the market sometimes make you feel you know what you're doing until it proves you otherwise. And then you feel, oh, fine. I've been led on for too long. I'd better face reality. Now look at this. This is the second part of our entry. I believe you guys are seeing this. So we're going to probably make a new move to enter the market right here. If this is probably going to be the point market want to sell off from. Really? What trade is this? We close this. Oh, there's another position we opened. It's not good. So this is the market that you all need to know. We're going to risk on this short again from that point. But then this is the market that you all need to know. Of course, once it breaks down into 71,440, we know that it's definitely aiming for a lower point. And of course, when it breaks lower, you're gonna be out of the market anyways. That's how everyone says it at the beginning. Studying the market is a big work, because you are doing it with your heart, and you can't be unemotional in an emotional situation. Okay, so this is it, 72,100. Oh my god, really? If it crashes to 70 now, then I know fine, this is still something that could happen. But if not, I think we should just jump out though. I don't trust the market. I don't know if you could or if you do, but then not me. I don't trust the market. Okay. Now 72,100. Would have believed that. By the way, oil is looking like it's pushing upward. I don't even know what to really believe. Now, I knew what the oil market tells me from the higher time frame. The 4-hour chart, the 1 hour, the 1 day chart tells me we are still likely going to be seeing oil pushing. But again, why is Bitcoin? Now look at that. Why is Bitcoin doing this way? I don't know. It takes pride in it. It makes people confused and all of that. It's intentional. Who knows? Everybody get confused. That's the joy of the market. Who knows? Could this be a manipulation? Who knows? But again, if I mark off all that and I close all this and I check the analysis here, do I have a break of structure? Equal low. It didn't, like, this is a break of structure, a change of character, but really it didn't break this point out. It didn't. It hasn't. Which is my concern, man. We better face the reality of the market right now. It is a concern, and a valid one at that. Okay. Now we say the market is really, oil is still really pushing up, and I don't know what to make out of this right now. Would you suggest, like, look at Ethereum? Is it really dropping? Because if it drops this time around, guys, I'm going to be out. The next drop on this market, I'm saying it on live. If you're hearing me, I'm going to refer back to this. The trade we've been holding for the past 20 hours or 24 hours, or maybe, I don't know, it's maybe up to, not up to, I don't think so, but 48 hours, but more than 20 hours. If this thing drops below here, I don't care where it drops, I'm going to wash it at its next exhaustion point. I'm out. If it drops like 69k thereabout, I'm out of it. I'm going to be watching the old drama I wants to make towards the weekend. I don't know. There are so many stories we need to put up, but then this is it. It's really didn't break structure. Yeah, it touched down here and it's moved down here. And this is my concern, because it could go all the way back up. But if it drops below this candle, 71,300, I think we just might be very much safe. But again, who knows? Really? So the reality of, the reality of what you guys are seeing called the market, when I'm saying the reality, I'm saying the reality of how that the ongoing discussion and negotiation didn't turn out. I think someone said something right now. I want to check right what this fellow says. It says jump out, pull out. How is Solana 3x doing in the market? Okay, recommend some good. Okay, thank you. Well done, boss. Thank you. All right, fine. I'm not just going to jump out like that. Thank you. I appreciate your question and concerns. I think, well, I will look at Solana. Thank you for asking about Solana. I will look at Solana. Yes, I will. Look at Solana 3x. It's a leverage asset. You could actually buy this on on L-Bank, by the way. So should you pull out? Let's check if you should pull out on Solana. This is Bitcoin. We have a very funny trade that we opened, of course, a paper fund here, which this was really $3.5. Oh goodness, that's a good money.
right? Anywhere you convert that, you could make a good trip to where you want to make, right? Just imagine if I had taken out this profit and I had entered right here, guys, it would have been a lot of money, right? Like you entering in a good leverage there, right? Anyways, no one tells you what you get to eventually do. The market itself is not certain of what it's going to do. But that's not our interest at this point in time. Let me quickly talk to why, what's up with Solana. So, Solana. So this is the price of Solana. The analysis on Solana is simply what you guys are going to watch. Of course, what happens to like my boss will say, whatever happens to Shiba happens to Leica. Meaning, in the crypto world, those are two meme coins. Shiba, Leica. Those who were in 2021 knows what Leica is, anyways. But then, what this says is, it's very much. What? I just saw a news, guys. I'm going to tell you, it's very much likely that what happens to Bitcoin happens to Solana, Ethereum. So the news saying Trump whales have withdrawn millions of tokens from exchanges ahead of President Trump's April 2025 Mar-a-Lago launcheon, according to Look on Chain. They've withdrawn millions of tokens. What does this mean? Is this a bullish news or a bearish news? It doesn't even make sense. Why would they withdraw from exchange? Meaning they're not going to sell? Does this look like some bullish or bearish news? Sometimes, the news outlets themselves or news agencies are not helping matters. But anyways, what do I know? This is the chart on Solana. It definitely broke structure here. This is how far it could retrace, as you could see. And it's, in fact, more closer to the bottom where it was coming from than Bitcoin. If you look at Bitcoin right now on a daily time frame, so you could actually compare both, what you're literally saying is the Bitcoin is how many percentage away from its low, recent low, 10%. Solana is way more closer. And I think there is a latent message there. You might not know, but I'm going to, this is like, 7%. Solana is probably going to sell way harder than Bitcoin. That's something. And the truth is, when Bitcoin is probably going to do maybe a 6% drop to 67K, you just might be seeing Solana doing a 14 or 13% drop to 72. So the next few days are going to be filled with a lot of volatility. And if you care to know what my thought processes are, right, Mary, on Bitcoin and of course Solana, I think I'm just going to probably use this. So you see, that's the peak. Of course, we've had several peaks in the market, right? Several peak points. So you have, I don't know, that's my peak point. This is a low point, which of course was a buying point for the market. Then you have this buying point. Then you have this buying point, one of those anyways. So you have one peak point like that and all of those. So you've been having peak points all across the Solana movement. So a low led to the peak, another peak led to another low. So if you're going to be marking out this chart, what do you expect from this? I think you need to think well. So this peak led to this low, and of course we now have a new funny peak. We just could have a new low. No one is saying anything, but then look at the market from that line graph perspective. So if at all this was a peak and it's been like we having a move like this, I mean, nothing is certain. We all are speculators on the market. So if we had a move like that, this is another low point, another peak, low peak, low peak. We just could have another one like that, at least, even if it's going to go back up. So there's a likely drop on Solana. There is a likely drop on Solana, and I think it's important for me to add the word likely, right? It's very likely to happen. I don't know why Bitcoin now is suddenly crashing. It looks like that. 900. It looks like it crashed because oil is not really moving at the pulse we expect it to move, but then it's okay. I think everybody should just wake up to whatever reality the market is showing, right? Don't over expect anything. US moves towards ship seizures. Weak macro data signals the BTC volatility may not be done. Iran deal breaks. BTC whipsaws. I saw this on okay, I think this is someone making a weekly crypto forecast, right? And yeah, they're okay, from CoinMarketCap itself. All right, so I mean, I think what this person is literally making us to see is yeah, the likely play out on the market. I think it's important for us to just know this, and whatever, I think we just have to stay safe. So this is how Solana looks like, and the truth is Solana is way more likely to still drop. And of course, when it drops, should Bitcoin drop, Solana is going to drop way more harder. So you see that? So for 3x, if you're on the 3x leverage, it's not too much of a leverage, but then you're not being overburdened by it. Yes, no, you shouldn't jump out. No. Got you. Thanks for using L Bank. Okay, so no, don't jump out. Right. That's the best response. Solana is likely to outsell BTC in the course of this week. So I think that's my response. So I think that's it. Keep an eye on our Telegram community also. I think there are much more updates you could have from that point. So guys, let me know what you all are thinking. But then I think that's very great an engagement from Mary, sharing with us on what our thoughts and concerns are. So oil is currently holding up, and I saw that news. I'm probably gonna want us to, I'll probably want us to look into the market well enough. So that's on Solana. We're done. I don't think there is so much I really want to do, but then I think we're done. Okay. So guys, let's keep an eye on the oil. Trump's making his effect to be seen. Oil. I don't know if I could compose a song for oil, or what would my composition be if I really had to compose a song for oil, and what do I expect the market to do? I think it's interesting. I think that's a word, very much interesting. I need to state the obvious, that whatever it is y'all are thinking or asking, you could as well drop them in the comment section. The market currently right now is interesting, and it's about time we just face the reality of what the market itself is perhaps communicating. Yeah, we need to sit on our hands and watch more. I think if you are in a market trade and you perhaps caught this new sell we made mention of, then you, at the end of it, maybe when it drops to like 67 or 65, hey, my honest advice, stay out of the market and let's watch what really is happening. The truth is, it's very much easy to comment on the market when you're not in the market. When you're not in the market, your emotions are not tied, and you're not in any sense obliged. That's a word. That's the truth. You are totally not forced to look at the market from your lens. You are freed from subjectivism. That's the truth. And this is one of the best ways to look at the market. And I think I must not lose that, especially amid all this market shenanigans. Something can just happen in a day, and the next thing you see in Bitcoin at a peak or at a dip. Please be on the watch out. Every one of us are beginning to think, okay, now fine. Let me use chart patterns to play around with Bitcoin. I think it's important. So let's come to the weekly chart, because everybody needs to let's look at what the market looks like on a weekly perspective, right? I'm going to disconnect this. course, a paper account anyways, so don't expect much. So this is a weekly chart. Let me draw a triangular pattern. Okay, no, I wouldn't use this chart for the sake of cleanliness. I would want a very neat chart, so don't mind me. So I don't mess things up, and I'm just going to keep things simple. I'm going to use Kraken, not Crackhead. So, yes. So you have these. Okay, I might not be the best. Let me just draw things for what it is. All right. You know, you'd see people drawing things like that. I mean, it's something very common. Of course, there's no way you can't draw the market. Whatever you want to see, you can see in the market, right? So now look at this. It's like a falling wedge, which I think it is. And it looks like the market just broke out of the wedge, which I, think could also be. But then it also looked like we need to be very careful, which I think we should also be. And then we need to ask ourselves, so is this like a falling wedge and the market is breaking out? I'm going to probably put that word there because, hey, you need to see the market well enough for you to know what exactly it is saying. I'm going to put a breakout question and, of course, put a question mark. So if that's a breakout, then we had better wake up, because if that's a breakout, then we might be having this peak as a point of our move. But then, should we check historical chart and see if that was something that has ever happened, where you get to think the market is indeed breaking out, but it is not actually breaking out? So let's check that point out. Okay, so you almost see things like that. Okay. Oh yes, it looks like that has really been a thing in the past, where we get to see the market giving us a 0.1, 0.2. Maybe this was the 0.3. Okay. Look at that. Now, please draw the comparison. You'd agree with me, we literally have, all of those multiple touches across the buy sides and the sell sides, that kind of thing. See that? Then you have the sells, those icons telling us of that the bears seem to be in control. Of course, then we have this breakout look, which we could also put like the question mark, because this way it looks like it's breaking out. Anyways, just listen. So if this is the point we're questioning the breakout, and this is Bitcoin at 22k, could this mean that buying it here is wrong? No, it only meant we see about 30% dump almost for the market to fully recover. And if someone had bought here, would you have been wrong? No, because you still definitely have a very good recovery in about 5 months time, right? From September to January or February, you're good. Now, if that's the case, then that implies this breakout might not always be real. Oh yes, that's the answer. Okay, so that means whatever is happening right here, we don't need to jump into conclusion, right? Yes, we don't need to jump into conclusion. Okay. All right. So I mean, I think we just need to keep a close eye. So that is what I think I could pull out from chart pattern. So you have, and of course we had triple touch. Don't forget. I'm concerned, really. I'm thinking of jumping out right now. 1, 2, 3. Then we have a drop down. The Bitcoin, the Bitcoin bear market is almost over. I think that's something that we just could, still take from this, right? Yes, 29% dump. We had triple touch. Don't forget, first, second from the peak, and of course all of that. So yeah, that's where we are right now. So you have the peak, you have the second. Okay, we're just having this third touch. The third touch is happening right here. And when it happened right there, we still sold, right? We've not sold. It's just happening. We still sold. I mean, a sizable portion, maybe here, right? Which is 20%, 25%. And of course, it still did another 20%, which meant from the touch, we expected we saw about a 35% dump. Okay, good. Not bad. And so please ask yourself that question also. If this is the third touch, then we still have a sizable, maybe 25. This is 25. I can't imagine holding that, even to 20%. 56k. So that means we still could see Bitcoin at 56k. Think of that. How many days will it take for Bitcoin to get to that point? Think of that and ask yourself the question. I am asking myself the question. Oh yes, I am. Because when I don't get to answer this kind of question, I've been watching the coin Fawn. Any predictions on it? Okay, thank you for that. Thanks for the question on Fawn. So when you get to look at the market, you then have to know how you respond to that, right? So, I mean, that's it. By the way, I hope you guys are on our community, right? I mean, that's how best we know you're part of us, right? So don't just stay here also all day long. Enjoy, you're also part of our community. Join us on Telegram. It is super good. Thank you. Thanks. Okay, so now let's look at Fun. F-U-N. By the way, don't you know there are coins like that? Well, very, very funny coins. I'm not joking. You guys might not know. Crypto is a wildest place where you could actually create coin with. What? Guys, would you believe this coin called Fun eventually dumped? Jesus Christ is Lord. I'm going to check this out myself now. Can you believe it, guys? This is the coin we've been trying to sell all day long. What? What? We've been trying to sell this coin since whenever. It just dumped. Oh my god. I didn't even know when it dumped. Because I've been trying to sell this coin since from I don't know how long we've been trying to sell it. It just would not sell. It goes up and down. And all of a sudden. Look at this. Someone was writing, it's like crypto has become a crime scene. I think I wouldn't agree less so. Look at this now, guys. Anyways, there you have it. Dun 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 dun. Let me make it dun 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 dun. Now, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not making a jest of the question you asked, but then it's so funny the way the market has really turned. Ask yourself, how will a coin just make it? I mean, this is a weekly chart, but then let me come back to the time frame so you could relate. This is 50%. Just imagine someone had $100 in this coin at this point, thinking, you know what? I know we are at the low. These are the lowest the market has ever gotten. And right from that point, the person still loses 50% of their portfolio. So this is ridiculous. That's crypto for you. You're welcome to crypto, where they say the first 3-letter words in crypto is CRY, cry, and people literally get to, they literally get to cry in crypto, literally. So, and I think this is important for us to just know as a people, right, that the market is a slaughter zone. You don't want to go in there with overconfidence. Very much open. Something is very much brewing. There are opportunities for us. I think the market is going to probably be, pushed to a point of sell. I think the trigger points are really here. We just need to face reality. And of course, this is fun. I wouldn't advise you to get in it. No, no, no. Answer is a no, no, no. So I'm checking on fund right now. The market cap is a $6 million market cap. And of course, 50% of it dropped. Its all-time low is where you currently having it. It's a one-stop gaming token that will promote all forms of gaming through transparent, provably fair and widely available mechanisms for funding and integrating different gaming opportunities. The token is originally launched by Funfair, an Ethereum casino platform. That is fun for you. So it's good. It's fun until it turns out not to be fun. I think it is fun. What do you think? I would love for us to check their coin market. I mean, their projects on CoinMarketCap. I think it's important. You don't need to believe me, but then I think it's important. So let me check CoinMarketCap. This sounds eerie, but that's the truth. You can't catch every move. You just can't be everywhere. The best you could do is just to play the game safe within your own end. That's simple. You believe? Some persons definitely must have caught that fun shot, right? That's why I keep saying it. Those who create the platform, they have an unfair advantage. Well, you could argue everyone have their own unfair advantage, but I think some persons really have some very unfair advantage, that kind of thing. So London session is over right now. I think that's why the market's having its own shenanigan. New York is fully bleeding. Think of it. Let me know what you think. All right, let's look at the markets one more time. I was going to look for fun on CoinMarketCap. Yes, I'm actually doing that back door. I'm going to open this up for you guys. The fun token. So fun. That in the last 56,000 people watched listing this token. That's crazy, right? I mean, just think of that. I'm gonna check the last 7 days. Like, bro, in the last 1 week, it's been down 55%. Fundamental reclaim expansion. What are you reclaiming? Someone is doing analysis in their own eyes. I'm gonna show you this chart anyway. So let's come to fun on CoinMarketCap and ask ourselves the golden question: what fun game is fun doing? Is this even fun? I don't know. All right, I think I need to go up some unit of water on fun. I'm just laughing. I'm laughing not because I'm excited it dumped, but then of course I'm laughing because the market is so inconsistent sometimes that you just don't know when you need to leave and when you need to stay. And sometimes you overstay your stay and then you quickly leave when you're not meant to leave. This is one of the nuances in the market. You sometimes, right, wanting to maximize profits and your exposure in the market, you overstay when you should have left based on the information you have gotten from the market, and at other times you quickly leave when you should have still stayed, and so you just have maybe 5% of the profit yours and then the rest the market takes. At other times you wait too much because you feel, it's gonna still go down to my take profit, and then it just wouldn't get there, and even the profit you made, market took back. Trading is not just something you want to jump into and say, oh yes, I got it. No, it doesn't work that way. You know what, I'm gonna say this again so everybody can listen. So looking at fun and how it dumped 55% in a week, you just ask questions like I did, because I was in this token, shorting it right from 0.015. Just think of that, 0.0015, and kept trying to short. It wasn't short. In fact, I had to leave right at almost no profit. In fact, I had to pay, I paid funding fees. And then seeing this token still dumped 55% days after I left only gives this statement. And this is my summary. You have to deal with these trading nuances as a trader, and you need to feel okay seeing those things, right? Where you overstayed in a trade where you should have left, and then you find yourself booking losses you were not meant to book because you initially were in profit, and then because you stayed too long, the market still went against you. And there is the time where you left too early, and then you only took 5% of the whole profitable move of the market. Then you realize you just didn't do well by leaving early. These are the nuances in trading, and I think it's important for people to know this and embrace more of risk management discipline over hurting themselves with hindsight thinking in hindsight of what they could have done better. No, just let it go, and that's how you get to win. You move forward, you move on, you keep staying forward. Please don't forget to subscribe and follow us on our channels and join our community at Nova Trading Desk. You're welcome. I think that's important for me to state, and I needed to do a recording of that quickly because there's no other way to actually get the most. Bro, can you imagine this thing really dropping now? Yeah. Oh yes. So that's fun for you. I just saw that Bitcoin really dropped, like from 72,500 is like a 71,600 thereabouts. And it's possible that at COB today, we might be seeing Bitcoin at 68K. And that would literally mean we'll probably see Bitcoin pushing towards the lows of 68. I mean, that's 68, 63,000 before the end of the week. So if you're asking me, David, what is my weekly forecast for Bitcoin? Here is it. I'm going to be showing you this in a minute. So come with me. Let me show you this for the week. Boom, 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 boom. Of course, my reasons have been well given, and I think everyone should know this right now. So I'm going to probably just take it heads off and just face the reality. I'm going to put the conditions also, and I think everyone needs to just absorb the truth therewith. Of course, knowing fully well that no one is the island of truth, and whatever it is we're saying about the market is also tentative, dependent on what the market has interest in doing, because the market itself has its own mind, I guess. It's a loop, and it's so funny and not so funny, but then that's the best way to stay well. You have to laugh over the things that are inconsistent in the market and just feel, okay, that's another thing the market is doing right there, and I would be okay to see that, and I wouldn't let that hurt me in any way. Anyways, listen, oh yeah, people, to my market forecast for this week. The week is the 13th to the 17th of the month of April, essentially the third week in April, and this is my forecast. I'm going to be taking note of the time, right? Yes, my forecast for the week of April, the third week in April. If Bitcoin considerably keeps consistent with the forecast we've given on how that the oil market is way more likely, if it keeps up with that, to complete a to B correction, moving from this point A to a point B. Then if that's the case, of course, before coming to do a point C, correction and movement, then we will definitely see a bearish sell-off on the Bitcoin market. By that we mean it's likely going to be selling from wherever it is to the levels at 68,000, because the daily candle that you're watching green would have turned bearish, and it will be biting out into the $68,900 zone, and of course sub 68K zone. And if that continues at COB, because we already have measured the constant of this movement, we estimated the possibility of oil going up from where it was some moment ago at about 96.6 to about 112. That's about we measured about 16% uptick on the oil market, and we checked with Bitcoin's correlation. We found a 3.5 constant, meaning if oil goes up by 17 or 16%, we're dividing that by 3.5, we get to know how much Bitcoin is going to probably dump, and that's somewhere between 4.5 and 5%. And so if that's the case, then we would also know that from 71,800 where Bitcoin was at that time, we're probably going to be seeing it coming to 68K precisely before COB this week. And of course, that could take place in a day, and it could go deeper than that, but at least we know that towards the close of business this particular week, we're seeing Bitcoin sub $68,000 levels, and that's our forecast for the week. I don't know what you think about this, but then we came to this conclusion based off those facts, technical analysis, and how we've been able to watch the market. And by the way, we took a short position. I'm going to be showing you this on paper funds, because we expected Bitcoin to rise into this zone and then sell off. We already had our short position for long. We haven't closed them yet, but then this is the position. I'm going to be showing you the position we did open at that point. So there you have it. That was it. Open precise, open from the knowing of this point, open right here. And I think that's all there is I want to really say. And I think this is very important because we also felt that since the Bitcoin market took out, just to add, the Tokyo high, we expected that the New York session will eventually come for Tokyo low, which will lead to our beautiful distribution following the manipulation. So this was like an accumulation, and this looks like our distribution. We expected this to be here, but then it went higher because of liquidity. We expected the distribution to follow suit. All right, let's see if this plays out. But that's all our forecast for the week on Bitcoin. You're welcome. Keep following us, and don't forget to own an L Bank account where you could trade Bitcoin, commodities, and stocks. Peace out. Thank you. All right, I think that's a very good one. I'm going to check out for that, promotional video, and I would love for you guys to let me know what you think about the analysis we just gave in a very short time. It's the shortest analysis weekly forecast ever. I think I'm going to probably be incorporating that on Mondays. We're going to be having a weekly forecast, and going forward, things will no more be as it used to be. I think that's important, for us in general. I think I do really think so. Goodness. All right, so that's it. That's a weekly forecast on Bitcoin. All right, so what's going to happen with several people saying several things? What's going to really happen? We're going to be here till about 6 p.m. I promise. We're going to probably be here till about 6 p.m. There is no moving, there is no shaking, there is no changing. We are consistent. If you've got questions, drop them in the comment section. I'm really here with you. We're going to be discussing in the chat room everything. Please, if you're watching, try following us and subscribing. It gives us work a boost. And of course, it's, when you drop a like, you're literally recommending this video. You're letting YouTube recommend this video to those who need to also join us. I would appreciate you doing that. I would appreciate you doing that. Man, that's going to be a very great one. Great one. Bro. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Come on. Let's all get to cheer this work to, the point of, what do you say, fulfillment or whatever. Okay, so fun really dumped out hard. Yes, it did. It dropped out. And I think it's so funny that no one expected that, including myself anyways. And that's one humbling thing about the market. It just makes you think you don't know what you're doing. That's it. All right, I want to appreciate you guys for watching and staying with us. It's been a very good over 2 hours. We still have about some few moments to stay, maybe an hour and 20 minutes. And that's because of, we started late and some other few things. But then again, I think it's been such an awesome time. I want to appreciate you all for being a part of us. Thank you. Yeah. Waiting for your questions and concerns, but I think I'm just wanting you all guys to share with me what you think. Sorry. Right. Yeah. I think it's good. I know it's great. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you say. I think we could look at the market for what it's doing. If you look at it, you will know what it says, and I think that's how you get a win. So I'm just gonna probably disconnect that again quickly. We don't need to have a paper account in our screen. We just need to show some persons that. So we're gonna have, I think we already have a 30 minutes candle formation already. Oh, fine. And then the new one, but then the 1 hour candle is still the perfect because we literally get to see the body of the candle. So yeah. Okay. So stay safe and don't be agitated. Keep watching the market in 3D. Keep watching the market in 3D. Guys, would you believe people really moved crazy move on Rave? Let me show you Rave again, guys. If you don't know what Rave is, this is Rave. Let me show you Rave. Rave. What do you got to do with me, Rave? I'm just going to be saying my own thing anyways. Just playing my own plays. Rave USDT. It went up crazy. Now, of course, when some persons, when some assets are really making so much money, that's why I also try to check. Oh my goodness, I didn't check this week the top gainers and the top losers. I tried doing that. I used to do And I don't know, I need to really begin more consistently looking at that. All right, keeping much update on those. Because when you check the losers this week, they could be the gainers last week. And that's the funniest thing. So we have IAI, we have power. Can you imagine? This power coin really had sold. Avava. Power sold. Oh goodness. We're trying to short this coin for forever. Anyway, let's keep an eye on power, guys. Keep an eye on power. Power to the people might come back up again. So I was told some few coins. Let me show you this coin anyway. So look at the power. Just look at what happened to area. Look at power. You know, this asset is crazily trading everywhere and it's so ridiculous. So look at that. This is not a crime scene. How would you explain a coin pumping from 0.08 where it was like this, apparently like boof, like $2.875, about 2,000%. This is not even much compared to what you just saw on Rave, right? It's currently apparently down 96% in a month. And the information about the coin right now, the market cap, let me even check the market cap, right? Because I think it's important for me to check. Let me check the market cap of power. Boys, this is interesting and funny and wonderfully strange. I'm gonna check power. I promise you guys, we're living in a very critical time, and it's so funny and at the same time not funny. It dumped 14% today. Just imagine this coin really come back. The market cap is at 17 million, and at its all-time, I'm gonna do the math for you when it was at like 2.9. Because the maximum supply is 1 million, the circulating supply is, to 10 million, 1 billion maximum supply. Of course, we could use the circulating supply or the maximum supply to get the FDV or the market cap at that peak. So the market cap is simply the multiplication of the circulating supply by the current price of the asset, or just the multiplication of the maximum supply by the the maximum supply. Wait a minute. Okay, that's to get the FDV. So the FDV will be the multiplication of the maximum supply by that. The market cap is circulating supply. So 10 million multiplied to 10 million. That's the total circulating supply of this asset multiplied by 2.8 or 2.9. This asset was trading at above $609 million. Now, there are other assets like that. Just think of it. There are several other assets like that. Now, currently, you have check on different exchanges. You have ARIA is down 14%. Good. Things they shell. And the funniest in this area coin could sit down way more. You almost don't get to know when. But then it has done something great on the daily time frame. It has broken a major push. And if you're going to be asking me what asset do I think is best to short, maybe it's area. You just have to go buy, you just have to go buy what do you call that? All right, you just have to go buy what do you want to call this right now? Yeah, I mean, I think that's it. You just have to go buy an ETF of it, right? Because it has really moved crazy. Look at power. So think of power. Think of several other assets. You're looking at several assets. So AIA, I don't know how you could pronounce that, is the one that has dumped the most today. And I don't know if it's going to probably pump again. Okay, it was coming from at $20. Anyways, I'm going to probably be showing the assets I'm looking at, guys. AIA USDT. What is this coin about, really? You ask the question. I mean, you should. I think it's important for people to ask. Can you imagine? Like, these assets minus 30% dump, and people are really making a lot of money from these right now. Really. Just think of that and ask questions. The agent, AIA. The agent, that's the name of the token anyways. People are mentioning key levels to watch out for, to make a trade-off from. I don't even care. I think what matters is everyone should face the reality of what they're looking at, right? I mean, I think so. My personal stance, I could be wrong, and again, I might not be wrong. Okay. So, let me know what you all are thinking. But then I think this is funny. We're gonna be having a new 4 candle open soon. I think we're not done saying the dump. It's so funny that there are just so many coins you want to put your eye on and track, but can you imagine River? It's currently at I knew River was on $3. River is currently on $7, guys. Oh my goodness. This is not funny. Again, it's funny. Look at that. This coin got to like almost $100. You wouldn't believe it. But it is what it is. Beautiful crime scene. The fact that no one knows what the use case of these tokens are is already mind-boggling. I remember telling folks that I expect this coin to first come here, go back up, and then come back here. It's going to end. It's going to be heading for the levels at 2.8. I'm probably going to set the limit right there. Just do a 10x. Who knows? Just imagine I did a 10x now. Oh my goodness! I'm going to do this. I promise myself, under God, I'm going to do it as He gives me the grace. I'm putting a prayer there. Trusting Him. We're gonna put a sell limit, a buy limit at 2.8. Just imagine I put a buy limit at 2.8 and I do 100 River, right? Not 20x long, that's looks too much. 10x. Oh yes, 10x. And I do 100, 1,000 River from that point. Bruh. I'm holding this till around $20. Can't believe the amount that's gonna be. But then for me to do a 10x long, because 1,000 unit of River is going to cost me, I mean, that's going to be having a notional value. If I bought at 2.8, that's 2,800. If I'm doing a 10x, that means I'm going to be using like $200 to long this thing. Of course, if I put myself at $2, I'm probably going to be losing $800 out of $200. But then if I were going to do that, I'm probably gonna do a 5x. I can't do 10, but then I can't imagine wasn't this $20. That's an unusual amount of money. Like $17,000 with 200. That's good. But then this is the market for you. So think of this asset that I've made a very crazy comeback. I'm gonna be like targeting them. I'm gonna probably write this down somewhere. So I'm gonna write River. I'm gonna write. I mean, there are some coins already gone. AIA. I'm gonna write Power. I'm gonna write. Of course, rave. I'm calling it rage. I'm going to write, which other one do we have there? Think. There are several of them. All of these assets crazily making unusual moves, and you ask yourself, how for goodness sake did these coins get here? Now you see questions like, or statement like, if you had bought $1,000 worth of rave this time last week, it will be $37,500 this week. Crypto is still like changing lives. Maybe you're just buying the wrong coins. It's easy to say that, right? For those asking how can you do this, make use of AI analysis on this, check why of this. Okay, guys. Believe those influencers at your rates. Bro posted 4 hours ago that he had sold his rave token at $5 yesterday for 63k profit. Just 30 minutes ago, he posted a screenshot that he's holding, and his token is now worth 166k. Right. 0 to 166k. Nothing lasts forever, but they say what from us is being in profit is forever. So you see people doing all forms of things they want to do right now. Just 30 minutes, he posted a screenshot is sealed in. They'll do anything to get a credit and engagement. Anything, guys. Just anything. Humans are funny. right? Don't, I mean, people just have several things they are doing. People just don't want to mind whatever they've got to do to have some money. Right? Everyone is wanting people to. That's not what I meant to talk about. I was just going to check several things. I'm finding several courses, and I think I'm just seeing several things. My interest is just to come find those exact coins that I knew someone talked about this morning. I want to look for those coins. Let me check. I want to check for this. There's a guy, he made a post. I'm trying to check for this guy. Yeah, I mean, he made mention of Grave, and there was like coins like them. I think he mentioned Siren. I think so. I'm going to check for this coin called Siren. He mentioned Siren. I'll check for that. But by the way, don't let anybody bully you into thinking that you don't know anything about the market. Right? I'm serious. You just need to know this right now. Yeah, so I found the guy. He made mention of something like that, and I'm gonna probably take it serious. He mentioned Siren, yeah. So he mentioned Siren. He mentioned Arc. Siren. He mentioned Arc. I mean, these are things we should not forget. He mentioned Sky AI. Sky AI. Yeah, so I mean, these are coins I'm gonna probably look out for. So you're welcome. If you're not on our community page, you don't know this coin. I'm probably gonna make a list of these assets and say, just, you know what, let's keep an eye on these assets. We're gonna probably be shorting them or longing them, whichever one is gonna be one coin at a time. So you have I have others. I'm gonna add Emmy. These ones are not really big deal. I'm gonna put them in their own tranches. I'm gonna put Emmy. I'm gonna put Pippin. I'm gonna put Giggle, right? I'm just gonna put some few funny coins like that, and R2. I'm gonna put B2. These are not drugs, anyways. These are coins. Just to let you know how funny crypto has become. You have Pippin, you have Giggle, you have R2, you have B2, you have which other ones? I think Aria. I think I've written Aria. If I have, I'm going to write at the top because it's part of those very funny coins I move usually. So I mean, you want to get the full list of the coin, join our community at Nova Trading Desk Africa in Telegram. You will get that same coin. I've just dropped them in our trading coins to watch. That's what I'm going to call it. You know, coins to watch. All right. So I just dropped this right. I didn't even put a tag on it. Right. Let me just put a tag. Coins to watch for crazy pumps and dump. Pump and dump, right? Okay. The truth is, people definitely see crypto as a place they could create a crime scene for themselves, and that's the truth. Anyways, if you're thinking, well, river dump, and you're watching this, I've just been doing things back there. Hey, you need to know it's going to dump. It is going to dump. If I could get a place where I could buy river 3x short, I would love to, but I'm not going to in fact do. There's ontology, ONT. This coin, I was literally on it, and I told you guys about this coin. I left early. Why? Because of the inconsistency of the market. I needed to, goodness, I thank God all the same. Okay, this is where it is. It's not bad. It's probably going to drop more, right? People like it or not. Ontology is probably still going to come here before you take a buy. I'm going to also add that to the lists. Okay, so we are just getting ready. Ready. Don't miss out. Ready. Guys, don't miss out. Don't miss out. Don't miss out. Don't miss out. Hi. Now the golden question is, now we've gotten the whole thing on, you know, this guy and that guy. When will, by the way, look at this guy. You see how it's pushing up? The daily candle is really closing up like that. It's going to push all the way to this point. There's nothing we could do about that. I think it's becoming clear. Once this coin flips bullish, it's all clear. Let's check I want to check, not Emmy, I want to check, not ontology. I want to check, which coin is that? Rave. When exactly will Rave begin to sell? This is the question myself I'm asking. It's currently on 9.8. You go to like 10.3. Nice one. That's the market for you guys. What do you think? I'm really taken aback. And I think, I don't know. Right. So, okay, so I mean, some people caught in the move, I guess, and I think it's funny. Okay, people now begin. Okay, now I think I'm gonna add SKR. Oh goodness, oh Jesus Christ! I don't know what kind of bull market this is. This is one of the bear market. This is. Can you just imagine what I just said? The uncertainty, no, the inconsistencies of the market really makes you don't know when you're going to be spewing when you're not meant to spew, right? Like, how is this a bear market or a bull market in the first place? How can one coin be pumping and dumping? You can get to see how there is this disconnect from those times of the market we all experienced in 2021 and before, when Bitcoin is selling, everything just goes sell. But now some very unusual coin actually are the ones that just make the crazy push to the upside. What do you think? I've curated a list of about 15 tokens that I think we should watch out for that could do crazy pumps and dumps, but then pumps. You could check this out in our Telegram community at Nova Trading Desk Africa. We have a group of very wonderful few people, and I think you need to be part of us, right? Don't miss out on this. Please join this group, and of course, ask questions. Let's grow together. All right. Yes. I'm gonna add a few coins. I think I'm just gonna add them like that. Right. I'm gonna check out for all of these ones, just to check out for them. Right. So, all right. It's 5 p.m. What do you think, guys? I'm gonna be right back, taking a short break, and I'm gonna be right back. Yes. Okay. Okay, guys, I was going to show you one other asset, which is SKR, and I'm just going to open this up. Boof. So look at it. SKR is having our buy point here, and I think if you don't know, please be prepared. We're going to have it bought here. We are going to do that. By the way, Bitcoin is opening a new 4-hour candle. This is where it is, and that's what you were watching. What do you think this is going to probably do? Anything better or less? Let me know in the comment section. I'm going to be right back, taking a short break. Keep following us here. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, so where are we? Interesting. This is great. Bitcoin is acting nice. By the way, Rave is almost at $10. Are you aware, guys? This is a scare. Bitcoin is acting like it's really pushing up and it's buying. It could also, but I don't think it will. Rave, on the other hand, on the 4-hour chart, is just been in way higher. And I think it's the reality of what this market is going to probably do. Push the market till everyone gets exhausted and tired. Exhausted and tired. That's it. Yeah. Go. Just a moment. This market's about to teach us some very beautiful lesson. I'm not gonna be shocked. I'm just gonna be here watching. I'm not gonna be shocked. Just gonna be watching. The game is a game. The market is a market. And I think that's it. All right. guys, I'm just here enjoying my time, trying to look at the market and several other things, really, because I think there's just so much to really enjoy in the current ongoing. Okay, so this is why US oil apparently seemed to want to open up a bearish path, and that's what you have. The war candle literally opens that way. You know, it should have been a concern for me, a major concern, if this candle had taken the eye above this point, but it didn't. So we're just watching. We just still very much expectant. I think we're gonna watch this till around 8 p.m. I would love to really log out, right? Do nothing. All right, guys, I'm just thinking hard about what the market is going to probably do about this time. And I think I just want to stay out of it right now. Just zero my mind and come back by 8 p.m. West Africa time, which is about 12 p.m., which is about 7 p.m. UTC. And that's going to be towards the close of business, and check the market, really. Because right now I'm just wanting us to perhaps chat with me and let me know what you guys are thinking about the market, right? And probably I'm just going to wait till say 5:30. I'm gonna probably wait at that time, and I'm gonna call it a wrap. I was thinking I'll just probably, but then if I didn't say anything that excites me in the market, I'm just gonna log off and just gonna come back and check what the market gets to do, because that's not that crazy thing about the market. It just could be this boring until it decides to do some very unusual thing. As a matter of fact, it could still push higher. That's the funniest thing with this market. But I don't want to move. 10.5. Just imagine those who hold this coin and we're holding like 17,000 units of this coin. I don't even know. Rave. This rave coin is very unusual, I must say. Like, really. Anyways, let's look at Siren. It's called Siren. I've not even paid attention to coins like that before. And of course, interestingly enough, all of these assets, you could trade them on LBank. So I was told these are the coins I just crazily pump unusually and dump. Look at this one. What's the logic behind it? Sudden, 100% dump, pump, like 80% dump, and this way it is. And who knows, the next thing it could do might just do another 174% pump. But then this is relatively still small compared to these other assets, anyways, Bro, unusual names, that's what they have. Okay, keep your eyes on the mark and don't let anything distract you. I think I must say that, right? I think that's important, right? I think this is important, right. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to check out for a news and a storyline. See, guys, I'm just locking up and I don't even see. Just stay mean to how your emotion wants to trace you in the market, and be disciplined with facts. I think that's all that matters. Okay, let me show you something. I think it's another part of an interesting point for us in our talking point in our live stream today. I'm going to probably wrap this session soon. Where is that? Okay. Right. I would love to know this story, really, but then I would love to actually find this story. I want to really find out what the name of the story. Okay. Okay. Sorry. That was sudden. We thank God.
Let me show you something. I was going to show you something. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. So I was going to look out for quant. There's a crypto quant, something quant. Okay, my dashboard, yeah, crypto quant. And yeah, coin glass. These are the two charts I want to open up. I'm gonna show you that. Where are we? What is the BTC USDT liquidation heat map? How does that look like? I'm not joking. We need to ask ourselves this question. So Bitcoin currently is sitting at $72,090 essentially. Okay, and I'm going to be showing you the heat map. All right, because I think this is also kind of super cool and also very much legendary and necessary, if I may. Now we'll look at the crypto quant data and how that's probably going to be great. All right. Probably so. Okay, we're gonna be having some fun games playing with the AI toolbox of the crypto quant, and I think it would be, having the back and forth with that. I think so. By the way, Bitcoin is really pushing state. That's the market for you, guys. This is interesting, I tell you. All right, so yeah. Okay. Right, guys, let's get into the subject. We of course, 70 to 200 Bitcoin trading pushing. Joking. So I'm gonna come back here, but then let me show you the liquidation heat map. This is how it looks like, and Bitcoin is apparently around 72k thereabout. This didn't break structure below. It looks like the market only retest and is pushing ahead, and it's scary if that's the case. When I'm saying scary, it's not because I'm like kind of scared, but then we will definitely need to witness unusual level of liquidations, right? And I think that could be avoided in a sense. It could be, but then the golden question would be, how then has the market proven its interest to really do that on a daily time frame, and other asset and other chart, how are they proving this is likely going to be what the market is going to probably be doing, right? That kind of thing. Okay. So whilst our thought processes on several things are valid, we have a liquidation point at 70 72 401 points is there, and of course there are way orders at 73k, right? I mean, quite huge. The immediate is the 72 480 430. And of course, other liquidation point, which is very huge with a very much pronounced coloration, is at 71,490. Of course, the market was like at where before the market was trading at about. So we know what we're really dealing with right now. I think it's important. The market was trading at about 7,400, but after it moved, there was another liquidation at 71,490, which is an immediate liquidation point, quite close. I mean, think of that. 71,490. Of course, that's going to be liquidation for long. 71.
And then the next other ones is at 7,800, which of course apparently the market has moved above. And there's one huge one at 7,300. I don't think market go to 7,300 in its recent dump, because if it gets 7,300, that means 68k is very much primed, that kind of thing. So all you're seeing right here is just the quite beautiful distribution of how the market is seemingly, aligning with the liquidation playouts that could potentially happen in the market. So I'm going to ask this AI from CryptoQuant to summarize recent analyst insights, and let's see what it says. Bitcoin volatility we're going to read it. So, as compressed on Binance, the Bitcoin realized volatility index on Binance dropped to its lowest since early 2026, signaling reduced short-term price swings and a more stable consolidation-like trading environment. This is the insight that it's citing. I could open this up so we could actually see that. So yeah, there you go. So ETH exchange supply is tightening. ETH exchange reserve fell sharply from approximately 35 million Ethereum to approximately 14.9 million Ethereum. While exchange inflows have not surged to prior cycle distribution levels, an on-chain setup consistent with less immediate sell prior from exchanges. Bitcoin leverage is unwinding, deleveraging. Open interest has dropped materially from about approximately $43 billion peak and 2025 to approximately $22 to $23 billion. And funding rate is negative. If funding rate is negative, that means indicating leverage is being reduced and sentiment is more cautious, less long biased, or less long. So if funding rate is negative, that means the short end control, and of course the short are paying the longs. Yeah, something like that. The methodology note. Non-market. One analyst shared a dashboard applying Japanese charting methods to professional indicators and network data, focus on visualization or analysis workflow rather than a direct market call. Overall synthesis is this: the dominant theme across the latest insight is lower volatility, reduced leverage, BTC along tighter exchange supply dynamics on Ethereum, pointing to a market that's currently more stabilizing or positioning reset than actively distributing risk. It's not distributing the risk upside or downside. That's what the market is saying. And so this is where we're going to be probably stopping. I'm going to look at this old chart thing, and that's it. This is from a guy named Arab Chain. Now it says, yeah, Bitcoin volatility on Binance falls to lowest since this kudos. And then we have this chart from CryptoQuant, like that, proving what it says, and that's all, guys. So since we've seen this, what next? Liquidation maps are clear. What again is the analysis saying? We cannot confluence our mind with just too much of information and expect to have a leading clarity on the market. I think one thing is certain. Let's take a back pause. Ensure you're not leveraged. If you're leveraged like some of us are, sit on your hands and just watch. Have your risk managed. Get your stop losses at your point of entry. Manage your exposures. Don't be overconfident. I think that's just it. Go check your stop losses and move them to your point of entries. If you would not want to book the profit yet and you feel, I think it's going to sell like some of us are thinking, and we have literally promised. I don't know why we promised that we're going to probably hold this trade till the expected point, whichever, however, we are probably going to come back to face whatever decision we made. But then this is 1 hour chart on oil, just to state. It literally also demanded from this point where there was apparently a clear, favorable gap. But the Bitcoin is currently pushing higher and higher, and of course, it's not looking so good. Okay, just to state also, the 4 hour candle looks, of course, not so great, but then just to state also. And I think the same thing applies to Ethereum. In any ways, please stay safe. Don't get yourself overexcited in any market. We've given the weekly forecast. I'm going to look into that and of course put out the video. Look out for this content of ours, and don't forget to drop your comments when you see them. Support our content, post them, get your friends to join us on our Telegram channels. I think that's the most of it. Now you're seeing assets like River not so excited with the buys. It tells you there is so much going on in the market that is currently not so much spoken of, and I think I would love for you all to stay safe. If you're not on a long on rave,
avoid shorting it. The best you could do is stay out of it, or at best buy the inverse contract and let it be with the funds you can afford to lose, because this market is extremely volatile, and that lets you know that so much really happens in crypto that sometimes bursts the brain of those who think they know all there is in crypto. In crypto you learn more, and of course this is one of the funny thing about this Hydra headed financial asset. I mean, I'm sorry for calling it an Hydra headed asset, but then think about it and let me know what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to look out for our next session tomorrow, detailed analysis live stream session. We're going to be looking at other markets, not just crypto. We're going to look into forex. I think we began doing that, and then we would execute on gold. I think tomorrow is going to be gold day. It's the golden century, Trump says. Stay MAGA. I mean, that's what they want you to do, but please don't be a mugu, which is one word for being a fool in our path of the world. I'm going to be seeing you pretty much soon. Don't forget to, ensure that you're supporting this work at all quarter. I want to appreciate you for coming. Stay safe. Peace out. Keep subscribing and keep following. Keep supporting. Choose L Bank and trade like a champion. Peace out. And of course, bye.